how are you? Hope you're good. A different angle, I know, how dare I? First of all, way too hot with direct sunlight there, and I don't know what it is about this, but it just seems to never be the correct time to actually film over there now, because I don't know. And I wish I could move my bookshelf somewhere else so it could like not be a problem, but unfortunately we live in a tiny flat, so there's nothing I can do about that. So I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just sitting on my bed. This is where I read most of the time, by the way. I would turn those, but who has batteries that work, right? Not this girl. I have quite a few books to show you. Now, to be fair, my last book haul was in the middle of July, so this like accumulated over time. I think I'm gonna try and make this like semi-flash haul, but I probably will say a bit more about some of this. Back in June I had a birthday. I do that every year, funnily enough. Jade was the extreme sweetheart and she sent me a gift card for a bookstore, because obviously that is the best gift ever. And only now recently I went, and I went there before but I just didn't buy anything and I just didn't know what is worth it. But really recently I went and bought two books that I really wanted. So the first one is A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers, which is the second book, but it's not entirely related, I don't think, to The Long Way to a Small and Angry Planet. That book, as I said so many times now, I think, jumped into one of my top ever very quickly when I was reading it, and so of course I want a second one. It's not a long book actually, so I'm extremely excited. I think this is following the artificial intelligence journey, so we're not gonna see everybody, but I'm still really excited. And next up that I got with my card, One Dark Throne by Kendra Blake, and this is the second book in, I assume, what is gonna be a trilogy for Three Dark Crowns. So the whole series is about three sisters who are brought up separately and they have to destroy each other in order to be the queen, because there's only gonna be one, and they all have different powers. A purchase that I'm extremely happy about. The complete set of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I love these books, but I don't even know if I read them properly, like after each other. Like, I just don't know what happened. I can't remember half of the things, I just remember liking it. But because I can't remember half of the things, I really want to reread this, but I feel like it's gonna be like almost the first read, but anyway, it's complicated. But I have a set and I was looking for this set for so long, and it took me ages to find one that would not break my bank, but I did on Amazon from like a different seller. It's not like Amazon, but you know how you can sometimes find it. I didn't want it in one big chunky book because I really enjoyed the fact that they're quite not like massive, but in the bookstores it's like £8 something each, and I was like, yeah, no. I think I got this from like $12.99 or something, all of them, so that was a great deal. And I love how they're all white to blue, and it's, I don't know, I just like them. And on the back it actually says which volume it is, which is great. It says volume 1 in the trilogy of 5, and I just am so looking forward to reading this again. So excited. Speaking of series, I also got Blue Lily Blue and The Raven King by Maggie Seawater, because I want to have these once I am ready to continue with the series. I've finished the Dream Thieves. This one came a little bit bent, but it's okay, I forgive it. So I'm really excited to continue with the series. So excited. So now technically I own the whole series. Wow. That never happens. If you're not new to my channel, you probably know about the week that I've done that was called 7 days of top 7s, and so the next 3 purchases are from your comments of what you recommended to me. I actually love those days mostly, even though it was a little bit of a pain, mostly because of the recommendations that I received. So the next 3 are the ones that I purchased. There are so much more put into my TBR, but these ones are just what I felt like currently. So first one is Packing for Mars. It's called The Curious Science of Life in Space, and I think this is a book of, I think this is non-fiction. It's just told from how you actually live in space, all the intriguing details, so that's really exciting. Who's this by? Mary Roach. Then this little book, which is called Some, and this is just like some versions of what people think is gonna happen after you die. My personal view is that nothing is gonna happen after you die. I'm not religious, I don't believe in heaven or hell, I don't believe in a soul per se. I believe in consciousness, but I'm not spiritual, and I feel like what's it gonna be after you die is gonna be exactly what it was before you were born. I'm still fascinated by the theories and just the concepts of such things, so I thought this was really interesting, and so I got myself a copy. I did actually notice that there's like a door gap and you can actually see through it. See, there's like a hole. That's pretty cool. It says some 40 tales from the afterlife, so I'm not sure if this is people who actually thought that they died or something, or is it just theories or something, but it's like small and nifty, and I just thought it would be interesting to read. The third recommendation was The Sender, and this is a comic book. I'm not entirely certain what this comic is about, to be fair, but it was recommended by one of you and I trust you guys, so here I am. And I mostly just see that this is like a sci-fi and I like the art, and for me that is enough to go and try a comic, so you know. Speaking of comic books, I finally got Nimona. I've been wanting to get this for ages now, and I've saved up and I finally got it. I haven't read it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it, so I'm not really sure why I haven't read it. You guys, my reading is like weird and all over the place. And I bent it a little bit while trying to take the bloody thumbnail. And it has this very cartoonish style for the actual artwork. And I think this is about... I always imagine this being very like Dungeons and Dragon-esque. And it's about, I assume, 3 main characters that go on to like very various adventures. And I assume there's maybe dragons and fantastic beasts and, you know, that sort of thing. And I think this is supposed to be really funny, and I'm really looking forward to it. And it's actually much bigger than I expected. I always thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger than this. Obviously it's like a bit shorter, but I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger than this, but I didn't expect it to be so like honky. These 2 books I've actually gotten really long time ago. I currently work at the university, and during the summer there was this clear out, I suppose, of the library there, and they had a stall of books for 40p each, and I was like, oh, wait a moment, I know my lunch break is gonna be spent at. Most of them were really not my cup of tea, but I got 2 books that I'm extremely excited about. One I already had in my TBR, and that was Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Sorry. I think this is an adult novel, it's not YA. It's supposed to be mysterious and sort of scary, I think. I'm not entirely certain. I don't know much about it because I can't remember anymore, because this is not meant for like long-term storage, okay? But yeah, I think it's supposed to be like sort of mysterious, and it's some sort of like mysterious woods that people are chosen to go in and they never come back, or if they come back that they're changed. And this is a fantasy with like dragons and magic as well. I don't know, it just seems really interesting, and I heard so many good things about this, so I'm really excited. And the second book I actually did not know, and it's called The Sellout, and it seems like a book that I would really like. It's actually like a really funny story how I decided that I'm gonna pick this book is because I opened like a random page and the chapter was called The Shit You Shovel, and I was like, interest peaked. But even if you read just like a little bit here, it says a biting satire about a young man's isolated upbringing and the race trial that sends him to the Supreme Court. The Sellout showcases a comic genius at the top of his game. So I assume this is gonna be a very dark humor filled book, and it's about race and the time in America, I assume, that was very messed up. I have never been disappointed with a story like such, and I don't expect to be disappointed. And my favorite story, and one of my favorite books, is the Forest of the Gods from the Lithuanian author, about that was also very satirical, grotesque and dark humored. And I feel like this is gonna be very similar case, and I am so excited about this. I actually, because I put this like separately for the next haul video, so I don't like forget which books I've shown and which I didn't, I actually forgot I had this, because this was like end of July probably that I got. So I forgot that I had this, and now I remember, and I'm so excited all over again. And oh, sorry, this is by Paul Beatty, and it's also said that it's shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2016. Not that I'm aware of what that is, but sounds impressive. So what is left is like a random bunch of books that I've decided I wanted. So the next book is by Morgan Matson, and I've seen this book everywhere, this and the other one that she has, Since You Were Gone or something like that. But this one is The Unexpected Everything, and I know this is like about a girl who had a plan and then her plan got shattered, and then she ended up having a lot of like being a dog walker or something and like figuring out her life. I don't know, this seems to be a quite like praised contemporary, and I needed to stock up on some contemporaries. I think this doesn't focus on like purely romantic side of life, so I'm very looking forward to that one. It's actually bigger than I expected it to be, but I'm not gonna lie, dogs is the reason I got this, because there are not a lot of books that have dogs that are not like about a dog that got like killed and it rips my heart out. I had this in my TBR for a very long time, so I thought it was about time to actually try it out. Speaking about trying new authors, another one that is really well known in our YA community is Adam Silvera, and I haven't ever read a book by Adam Silvera. I don't know if I like his writing or if I don't like his writing. So I got his new book, They Both Die at the End. And so this is, I'm sure you already heard, but if you haven't, this is set in a universe where you are told when it's the day that you're likely to die or something, and then you can find other people who are also gonna probably die that day, and then you can either like spend time with them or something like that. I don't know, but this is a love story between two males, so it's also a diverse read, and I like the idea of this world, and this, I don't know if it's a utopia or I just like the idea of that world, and I want to know a bit more about it. And I also wanted to try Adam Silvera's writing because I haven't. So now the next two are mangas, and they are the same manga. Me and Logan were watching this show that is absolutely hilarious. I love it so much. It's my favorite anime now, well, favorite on like the funny side of animes. It's the most hilarious anime that I've ever seen. It's just perfect, really. And that is called One Punch Man. And because we finished with the anime, because I think there's only one season, and I'm sure they're working on a second one, but I ain't that patient, so of course I had to figure out where they stopped, because apparently they follow the mangas quite well, so you can pick up after watching the anime and continue with mangas, because I didn't feel like reading the same stuff if it does actually follow it quite well. So I picked up the next two because they're not that big. That one was the 8th and the 9th, so if you also watched it and you want to know which one you should go for, it's the 8th and the 9th. So I'm really excited for this. It's hilarious, and when I need a pickup, I'm gonna read that. So excited. Strongly recommend at least the anime, because I haven't read the manga yet, but I'm assuming it's gonna be funny. And the very last book, I believe, in this particular haul, called Invisible Planets. This is a collection of 13 short stories from China's sci-fi range. Well, it says 13 Visions of the Future from China. And I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever read any sci-fi from Chinese authors, so I was really interested in this when I saw it in the bookstore. And it just says, here are 13 short stories from the new frontiers of Chinese science fiction, selected and translated by blah blah blah. So not only will I get familiarized with what Chinese science fiction looks like, I get 13 different stories of science fiction, which I'm in, like, because science fiction is all about the world and what is happening, so it's really interesting. So it's almost like a book of concepts. I get to try out 13 different authors, and maybe I will pick up the one that I really enjoy. I don't know, I just thought this was an amazing book, and I don't know why I haven't seen it anywhere. Maybe I'm just living under the rock, which is pretty much accurate. I'm really excited about this, and it's not like, you know, since it's short stories, I'm not usually a big fan of short stories because I like to dive into a long journey, but sometimes it's actually really nice to just grab something in between. Let me know if you read any of these books and what you thought of them. Let me know if you also would want to read some of these books that I've mentioned. I hope I introduced you to some books that you maybe haven't heard about. Yeah, I am so excited for all of them. Hope you're gonna have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye! Oh, screw it!